Got the helmet back, and I'm going to start getting it prepared for modification. The first thing that I need to do is take out all the padding and the visor. So to do that, we have an X-Acto knife, very sharp, got to be very careful, because the visor at this point is just hot glued in, so I can just cut along the seam and remove the visor. The padding is Velcro, so I can just take it out. Did that so that it would be easy to clean. So I'm going to get started on that now. Alright, now we got all the padding out. As you can see, I can just snap it back in whenever I get done with all the modifications because the Velcro is still on. And it just simply attaches to the little Velcro dots that are in here. I'm sorry for the darkness of the video. And then I'm going to get started on the visor now. I simply take the X-Acto knife and cut along right next to the visor. And eventually it's going to come loose after a little while. Okay, so we have the visor is gone now. And the hot glue is mostly cleaned off of it. That'll be put aside. Of course, that'll be going back in later. The next thing that we're going to have to do is shave off and sand off some stuff to get ready for building up the corners here. And taking this right here, we'll make it into a much more sharper curve. But first we got to sand out off all this paint so we can get down to the surface and have a better surface for the Bondo and things that are going to have to go there when we do that. So, now we're in the garage. Sanding is messy. We got our sandpaper, fine grit. I think that's this. Got my fine grit sandpaper. You can see where I've started to sand things down. Don't have the glossy finish anymore. It's very important that you get things smooth because if I don't sand over where I put the battle damage on this one, then it's going to show up when I repaint the helmet later. So, working on that. I'm going to sand all this down until it's very smooth. And then I can start working on cutting the center pieces to fit here. And figuring out where exactly I'm going to cut here to give it the corner that I would like. If you're doing this from a base bucket, one of the ones that you can get, say from Phelan, in his helmet business, the Legacy bucket there, it'll be a little bit easier because you won't have to sand down from a painted finish. It'll come pretty much blank, and then you can just make the visor modifications that I'm going to make and paint from there. Now that it's sanded down, the next thing I need to do is take it back inside and rinse it off because you've got to get all the dust off. It's a very obviously messy business to sand, so get all the dust off of it, get all the dust off of me, let it dry, and make sure everything's good before I start moving on into the next stage. So now you can see the work that I've done. I'm ready now, and I can start trimming this out to make it a sharp corner, building this up, and actually probably making the face a little longer since the TOR helmet actually comes down a little farther than this one does. So I'll get started on that soon, so look for the follow-up video when I get started on that. And we have an interloper. Come here. Say hi. I'm getting in Mommy's video. Go on. So keep watch for those other videos. Hopefully they'll be up in the next few weeks as I move forward on my modifications here.